everyone. I'm Christa. This is Jay. This is Saying I Do Forever. And we're here talking about one of our favorite things, and that is how we paid off a huge amount of debt.
Crushed a goal.
We crushed some goals. Yeah, we did. So I think we paid $41,000
in 36 months.
In 36 months. So if you're interested in how you guys can do that, stay tuned for the entire video to hear all the little fun details.
So I really love this one. I love the debt snowball that Dave Ramsey teaches, and I'm going to go over it in detail of how we did it. This is a sample version of kind of how we did it. And so this is kind of an overall of, say, a certain person's debt, not ours. This is just kind of a sample. But anyway, I know Dave Ramsey says, you need to get your emergency fund fully funded first. A lot of people feel overwhelmed, especially when he says $1,000 in savings. So that may take you a long time. You might get frustrated and just throw your hands in the air and give up. Don't let it get to you. If you have to, just do $500 in savings. Just save little bits over the year or months or whatever you can do. Sell garage sale some stuff, get your emergency fund, $500 or $1,000 if you can make it happen, and then start on the debt snowball. So the debt snowball is all of your debt other than your house payment, and you're going to start with the smallest one and go to the most expensive one. And this is how it goes. And this is a life changer, game changing event. We can testify to that because we did this.
Yeah.
So you start off with all your cards and all this stuff. The first one would be a Lowe's card. Say you have a total payoff balance of $250 a month. The minimum payment is $26 a month. The next one is Home Depot. Home Depot, say your balance is $700 at Home Depot and your payment is $38 a month. The next one is a Visa and you owe them $1,200 and your minimum payment is $56 a month. After that, you have a MasterCard for $1,600 and your minimum payment is $78 a month. Then you have an American Express that you owe money on for $3,800 and your minimum payment to Amex is $98. The next one is your student loan, and that's $6,000 and your minimum payment is $150 a month. The last one is a car payment, which we know the majority of people have car payments. Car payment, the balance is $10,000 and the car payment is $224 a month. So this is where it gets really cool. So for the first one, for the Lowe's card, if you owe $250 and the minimum payment is $26. So the goal is you want to pay off that $250 as fast as you can. Ramsey advises that you do a garage sale. That's the fastest way that you could raise $250 in a snap. Boom,
sometimes you can sell one item for that, depending on if you got something good.
Right, especially, you got a boat,
yeah.
Sell your boat.
Facebook Marketplace.
There you go. Any of that stuff.
Kick it in the butt.
That's right. So if you can make the $250 at your garage sale or yard sale, you take that minimum payment of $26 a month and you apply it to your Lowe's card, or to your Home Depot card. So you owe Home Depot $700. So instead of getting $26 to Lowe's as a minimum payment and $38 to Home Depot, you combine those two payments and you give Home Depot a payment of $64 a month. And then you go to the next one. So when you
and then if it's only $700, you have another garage sale or you sell some more stuff. So you're paying the minimum payments on everything except for the one that you're working on.
That you have the gazelle intensity on.
Yeah, and you just target that one. You just hit it like a target.
And another thing I just thought about too is if you have a really good garage sale, you might be able to take care of the Lowe's card and the Home Depot card in one fair swoop. Just knock it out. So with that, when you pay off your Home Depot and Lowe's, that gives you $64 a month. And then you can apply that to your Visa. And your Visa is $56 a month, which gives you $120 a month.
It's just kind of growing.
It's starting to get bigger and
This is
pick up
where it gets
momentum.
exciting. At first, it's a little frustrating because you feel like you're just spinning your tires.
Yep. Once you get to the third or fourth one, you can see
It
you're about
starts
to
to-
see what we're
What
trying
we
to
get so
explain to
excited
you why it's so exciting. So after the Visa's gone, you can take the $56, put it with the MasterCard minimum payment of $78, and then that'll give you $198 paying on your MasterCard. Then you pay that off. You take the $98 American Express, the $98 American Express payment, and with the $198 that you had paid the other previous payments to the other cards, and you give them a whopping $296. So now you're really picking up momentum.
Snowball's getting big.
So that $3,800 that you owe American Express, it's not going to be taking a long time to pay it off. Then you have almost $300. Or if you can squeeze out a couple more bucks out of your budget towards that payment, add it in, then you can just make a flat $300 a month payment, and then you're off to the races. I mean, you can pay that American Express off fast once you start throwing $300 at it instead of $98. You've tripled your payment just by doing the debt snowball like Dave Ramsey teaches. Then the next one is the $150 a month on the student loans. It's $6,000 for the balance that you have of your student loan. So you take that $150, put it with the $296, you have $446. Now you're almost at $500. So anywhere you can cut corners, like on turning lights off, saving money on your power bill, gas bill, whatever, you can still chunk more away with that $446, and you could do a $500 a month payment. Just look at where you can cut corners.
Well, and then you're still on the bigger ones. You're only giving them the minimum. You're not trying to throw a bunch of little snowballs all over the place.
Right.
You are giving them all their little minimum payments while this snowball is growing, and you're just concentrating all of your firepower on this one.
Yeah, so
until it's knocked out.
And as you're paying those minimum payments on everything, as the months roll by, those balances are getting lower. So the amount of money, say, months from paying off the Lowe's and Home Depot card, say, you've taken 3 or 4 months to pay that off, the student loans, the American Express, the MasterCard, the Visa, and the car payment all will have lower balances. So as you're just picking it off one at a time, you're building it. You're building your snowball, and you're taking care of it. And it's dropping on everything because you're still making the minimum payments, but then you're hitting the one that you have this snowball focused on. You're nailing it. So then when we get down to the car payment, the last one, that's $10,000 left owed on the car, you have $446 from the student loan that you're taking, and you're putting it with the $224. Now you have $670 a month. $670 a month to pay on your car. $10,000
it's going to go fast
at $670 payment,
and it's already been you've been already making that minimum payment while you've been doing it, so it's lower than that by the time you got that snowball. Like
I said before, about the balances are going to keep chunking down. So you may owe 8 or 7, but $670 on $7,000, it's not going to take you very long at all. You literally, with this amount, the total debt on this sample was $23,550 of debt.
That was $23,000?
Yeah, wow. With all these, with the Lowe's, Home Depot, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, student loan, and car payment was $23,550.
Wow.
So, it's a little less than what we did as far as our payment or our debt, but still, this is a sample of what's possible, what you can do. So that's $670 a month out of your pocket total if you just make your minimum payments. Just minimum payments and not ever do the snowball. You want to do the snowball because that's by the time you're done with this, that's $670 back in your pocket. That can buy a lot of food. You can invest it. You can put it in savings. You want to talk about your emergency fund? You could really rock on your emergency fund. So anyway, that's just a sample. And to me, this debt snowball meant a lot to me because I got so excited and had gazelle intensity like Dave Ramsey and Christa knows. I was focused. I even had a sheet of paper by the side of my bed
So when you woke up in the
So
morning,
when I woke up in the morning, I could see it. It would remind me, get rid of the debt.
get rid of
Don't
the debt.
live in a bunch of debt. Who wants that? Like he says, the Bible says it, and Dave Ramsey repeats it so many times. The borrower is slave to the lender. These banks want every penny of interest that you're paying them, and they don't want you to pay anything off. And you know, it's nice that we're debt free now. We have our house payment. That's it.
And it's true.
House payment.
If you are in debt, you are a slave. And a lot of people think of debt as the thing that's going to help them get to the next level or help them have all the nice toys they want. You know, that's good for a moment, a fleeting moment. But really, in the end, when you're having to make those payments, and if you miss a payment, if you lose a job, or you have a rough month, or you have some medical bills and suddenly you can't pay that, who's the first person on the phone calling and saying, where's our money? Where's our money? You know, and you are basically working as a slave to these debts. And so if you want freedom, if you want peace, you want to get rid of debt.
Yeah. Yeah, and the banks aren't going to care what your excuse is. We learned that the hard way years and years and years ago. When I had my back injury and we were struggling and all this stuff. The debt people don't care. They don't want to hear it. They're not going to work with you. They may say they will, but they won't.
They don't care about the sad
We
story.
went through the hard times with them, and we'll never be that slave to the lender again. I mean, granted, we have our house payment, but our house payment isn't really any big deal. And, you know, now we have our savings accounts. We have just our house payment, and it's a lot easier for Christa and I now. I mean, it's just, I don't know how else to convey this to you guys, but it's so, so important. We absolutely love this part of Financial Peace University. At least I do. I mean, this was one of my favorite things to do. And then as I got up in the morning and this was on, you know, by my side of the bed, and we'd pay one off, you know, I'd cross it out and then I'd zero in on the next one. The next one's gone, I'd cross it out, zero in on the next one. And once it started to get real momentum, I really got excited, huh?
Oh yeah, you got so excited. You went out and got crazy jobs to do it. I mean, he was so passionate about it. Like if people offered him, hey, could you come and help fix these vending machines or whatever, you did. You like did everything. He was like out just trying to make sure that he can hit the next one. It was almost like a video game, or it was almost a game to you. Like hit the next one, kill it. Yeah, and it was a blessing too, because I got a call from 7-Up, and I did some refurbishing of their vending machines and coolers and stuff like that, which, you know, I worked for Pepsi for 15 years before I even got to that point. So it was a no-brainer. It's like, I can do this. This is just a side job, but you know, they're willing to pay me to do something that I know. May as well just take advantage of it. And I did it, and we got rid of all that debt. It was actually fun, believe it or not. It was fun. It was fun just picking the debts off one at a time. The other thing that you need to remember to do, and we did it right away, is as soon as you get that first small bill paid off, call them. Call Synchrony Bank or whoever handles Lowe's, Home Depot, the Visa card company, MasterCard. Close the account. Don't listen to people say, oh, well, my credit score. Well, you know what? If you have 50 grand in the bank, you got a down payment for a house, or you can pay a whole bunch off of your house if you have cash in hand. So don't buy into the myth that you have to worry about your credit score. Because you know what? If you don't have credit, you don't need a credit score. And if you have plenty of money in the bank, if you have cash, they
and
don't
if you
care
have
what your credit score is.
Yeah. If you're going to buy a car with cash, who cares about your credit? If you're going to buy a house with cash, who cares about your credit? They have so blinded people with the whole credit score, the FICO score. I mean, even Dave Ramsey talks about it, how he has a 0 FICO score. 0. He doesn't care about his FICO score. And so that's kind of where Christa and I are at. I mean, granted, we had to get into our house we're in now, we had to have a credit score. So we had to get our credit score to a certain point. But when they saw that the debt was getting paid off and everything was looking good and we had good savings accounts, we had a good credit score. Now we don't care about the credit score because we're not going anywhere. We're going to be in this house till the day we
Yep. Our
are
vehicles
done.
are paid for.
Yep.
And
no car payments.
And that's where the savings accounts do come into play, because we've got enough to help out if if we need to fix something.
Yep. So anyway, that's our tidbit for today. Hopefully you guys can see how passionate I am, because well, I'm a passionate person anyway.
Well, you should tell them a quick little thing. The reason, we did pay $41,000 in 36 months.
Yeah, 3 years.
And that was a huge thing. I had my business, and we had to borrow a bunch for that. And we, of course, had some other things, but we hit that recession, and suddenly customers weren't buying anymore because it was the recession. And, but I still had all the bills coming in, and we also had a lot of debt personally. And so between all of that, we found ourselves in a world of hurt. So when we got a hold of this Dave Ramsey plan, it changed our lives, because Jay really got a hold of this. It was something he could get a hold of, and he was the driving force, I think, with that.
Yeah, this is probably one of the like I said just a little bit ago, it's one of the things that I thoroughly enjoy doing. Even though I'm almost ADHD, it was one thing that I could just focus on and make happen. God blessed us, and I took on the direction and focus and gazelle intensity and got it done.
Well, and I think it's important that they know that this was serious debt, to the point where we were almost going to claim bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And we actually had a meeting with the bankrupt. We did not feel good about it, but there was no other way to stop the people from calling and to be able to keep the business running. And this is early in. We just hit that recession just at the right time, where we had just really built the business. And then, of course, with our personal debt. And so we visited the bankruptcy lawyer. And, sometimes God does things on purpose. And he was late getting to his appointment. We waited around for him and waited. And then we decided, we were sitting there waiting, and his secretary says, he's on his way. It kept waiting. And Jay looked out at the canyon, right?
Yeah, the Snake River Canyon. Just the expanse of the Snake River is just, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you look out how vast and incredible the Snake River Canyon is.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Christa, we were sitting there, and I told her, I said, you know what, we need to go. We need to leave. I said, if the God that I serve, that I worship, can make that canyon, he certainly can help me to pay off the debt that we owe. Because I felt really bad I felt like a failure. I felt worthless. I felt like I just, not only did I let down my wife and my family, but
and I let you down.
But I felt like I had just let everyone down. I mean, even the bill people. So we got up, we told the secretary, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to figure out something else. And we went home, and then
shortly after that, God brought the Dave Ramsey program into our life, maybe a month or two after that.
Yeah.
And we just thought, you know what? We made the debt. Let's take care of that debt and pay it off.
We started with the small one and went all the way through until we were done.
Yep. And we, cut out anything that was something we didn't need to spend money on.
Anything extra.
We didn't go out to eat. I mean, we were what Dave Ramsey calls gazelle intense.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. And so, if we could do it, and we didn't have great incomes, we had a business that was sucking us dry. And it was during the recession when you couldn't get money for anything, and everything it was that 2008, 2009 little thing.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad.
But God is good.
But God is bigger and good.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else?
I mean, do you have anything else?
No, I really felt like we should talk about the debt snowball today. Money Monday, we needed to do a topic on money, and I feel that the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace class is something worth investing in. The debt snowball is amazing. Dave Ramsey is very wise.
Yes.
And we just are so thankful for him. And the fact that now we're debt free, other than our house, but we're working on our house. We're chunking it down. We're chunking our house down. So we're excited.
Little bit by little bit.
That's it. So,
well, thank you everyone for joining us. And we'd love to have you subscribe or like if you like this video. Tell us in the comments if you are in debt, if you're trying to fight it, if you conquered some debt, if you crushed some goals. We want to hear about it. We want to hear about your story.
And if you guys have any questions, pertaining to the debt snowball, just, leave them in the comment section below. And, do us a favor, subscribe. We'd love to have you follow us along our journey.
Yeah.
Through everything we're going to be talking about. This is just the drop in the bucket.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
We have so much to show you and show you how amazing marriage can be and how you guys can become a great team. And
debt free.
Yes, and debt free. So until next time, this is Jay and Christa helping you say I do forever.
See you guys.
See ya.